right. Good evening. How's everybody?
Good.
Great. How are you?
A lot better now than I was 10 minutes ago.
Excellent.
No comment?
I just said excellent.
All right. Wednesday, December 4th. John and I have been extremely busy at the store, so we have no fantasy updates.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, there was no. John, was there time for fantasy updates?
No, I didn't even have time to sleep.
You guys were off on Sunday.
Yes, we were. We were off on Sunday. Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
But the
100%
games aren't over until Tuesday.
Oh, well, that's valid. Okay, never mind.
Did a mail carrier come in today, John?
Yes, we did. Ronnie was in, and he got everything out. Everything's all good. And the one item that was the one group of items were picked up. So everything from Black Friday, Cyber, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday is all gone.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then factor in all those orders for the Kelsey brother figurine on top of it.
On top of it, yep. All the Brian Dawkins tickets that are all organized.
We had a bigger problem finding boxes to package them up than anything.
I believe that.
Well, that's because you always keep throwing them away when I keep trying to hold on to them.
Yeah, but Jen said you have a problem with holding on to things.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a matter of being able to hold on to it and also having the space in the store though too, right? So
all right.
It all seems to work out though. We always find the boxes when we need them.
So we've been busy and we're going to get even busier. But we got a show. We got Philly sports to talk about. But first things first. Do you have any updates on the fantasy?
The only thing I do have is the fantasy football. I was able to do that, and I'm going to work on the other basketball and hockey tomorrow.
All right. Well, football probably is more important than any of the others.
Oh yeah, it's getting down to the nitty gritty now before we're getting into the playoffs. So the host we're kicking butt. We're up by over 200, almost 300 points. So we're kicking butt there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm in the lead, of course, overall. But then the Matt Doherty, he still has the lead there in second place, and then Ozick is in third. Mike McCullough is in fourth. Henry Zadell is in fourth, and Stephen White is in sixth. Henry from Florida, he's it must be getting a little colder down there. He's not spending too much time at the cabana. He's moving up in the ranks. And Tom Ballingall, I think it's
Bollinger.
Yeah, Bollinger. There you go. He's up there, and then Brandon McCullough. And then you got the battle of the Bachmans. Randy Jr. is in the lead. Carolyn's right behind, and Randy Sr. is real close as well. They're all, the three of them are within 15 points of each other. So
all right,
they got a good family battle going right there.
Very good. Hey, I wanted to open the show with condolences to our friend. I know we play around a lot with him. John Redenhofer, his mother passed away.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear
that. She's been having some issues and so our condolences to him and the family, and always tough to lose a loved one.
Yes.
And at the holidays makes it even, more difficult. So John, hang in there, buddy.
Yes.
So, with everything that's going on, there's Shawnee jumping on. Shawnee's getting ready to head down south for a wedding. So we're gonna miss you this weekend. But we got a replacement. We got a replacement for everybody. So hang in there. We got this.
Yep.
Joe Stinger, I hear it's been a little chilly down there. Florida. Real chilly here. What was it like this morning in Reading? I know it was like 27 degrees in these parts.
Same.
Yeah, pretty much the
Yeah.
same. Pretty chilly.
Yeah, it was cold.
Doesn't it feel like snow?
Feels nice.
Yeah.
Pretty abominable snowman here. But yeah, it
Yeah.
feels nice.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, it's we got a winning streak going in Philly.
Yes, everywhere. It's nice.
We got a winning streak.
Yeah, you had to wear sweatpants down there for the first time.
then it's chilly.
Yeah.
Then it's chilly. But yeah, we got a nice winning streak. We got our teams, back looking okay for now.
Yes.
The Eagles being the bright spot. 8 wins in a row, looking for 9.
Playing some good football too.
Playing some real good football. So what's your take? What are we? 11 games in? 12.
12
games in, 10-2, right?
Yep.
So they went 2-2 out of the gate, and we're writing that off as the preseason games. And
that's the way they kind of look at them. Yep.
And then they got the season started. John, I know you've been hard, and rightfully so. They deserve the critics. And what's your thoughts now, rolling into week 13?
Well, I can't believe I've been saying this. I'm going to be saying this, so everybody get their recorders out. But you got to give Nick Sirianni some credit right now. You
Wow.
Lauren, you okay?
Wow. No wonder that. I mean, you did just say it was about to snow.
Right.
I did.
Yep.
I did.
I mean, you got to give him some credit. I mean, he's staying out of the way, doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Okay.
And he's got the guys playing. It's ever since the Jacksonville game. He's been doing everything we asked him for. You're doing kicking, not doing too much, not trying to be going out of the box and doing his things. Yeah, exactly. He's acting like a coach. He's not making the story about him after the game, whether it's good or bad. He's going for 2 or he's not going. Whatever. He's letting the players play, and you got some good coordinators on both ends as well. And we talked about this earlier this week, Carl. It's you're put into a tough spot now with the Eagles. Because he's next year's his last year, so you're not going to have him going into that year as a lame duck going as a head coach. So, are you going to end up re-upping him? And how's that going to look? Because every time you take the good coordinators away from him, he seems to struggle. As a team, that's the only fear. I guess you have, but that's a negative.
Let me interrupt you a second, because I assume you're referring to the coordinators that we lost after we lost in the Super Bowl.
Correct. Yep.
And neither one of them have really done a whole lot.
No, but
the one that went to Arizona kind of sidestepped his way out of here.
Right.
And then, he replaced them, with, and I'm kind of getting away from, giving credit where credit's due, because I think, if we're going to give credit to those guys and they got coaching jobs, with the Colts and the Cardinals,
yeah.
You've got to give Sirianni credit, for getting rid of the coordinators from last year and replacing them this year, right? Because I'm sure,
right.
I don't know how much input he had. He had to have some, I would certainly think, right?
You would think, yes. I mean, it's hard to say. You know, you hear different stories whether he does or he doesn't have any of the power. But yeah, you would hope that he would have some kind of say.
Well, I'm going to go with that. He had a little, he had some stroke, and he was part of the interview process. But let's break it down a little further because Vic Fangio was here. He had a taste of Philly.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was here. We probably had the opportunity to keep him, but we didn't. And thank God we got him back. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Kellen Moore's bounced around. He's been a coordinator with, correct me, three teams.
Yeah, Dallas, Chargers, and now here.
With the talent that's here, I think you and I could do a pretty good job.
Oh, of course, yeah. You got that's the thing. It's like, you got super talent all the way around, and really, let's face it, they're winning these games, and they're not even playing the first quarter. They're playing maybe two and a half quarters of a game, and they're really dominating in that two and a half quarters because the fourth quarters in a lot of games they haven't even really had to play much because the game's been out of control control. So yeah, the first quarter has been a wash really. I mean they only scored 17 points in the 12 games. So yeah, I mean it's interesting.
Lauren, because I got to keep you active in this conversation because this is a big week.
Okay.
Just a couple weeks ago, John had a certain someone's balls on the desk of Howie, and now he's giving him his flowers.
I remember that.
It could be the medicine that I'm on too. I gotta check my medicine. I don't know.
That's all right. I do appreciate though, because I don't think as Philadelphia fans we always do a really great job of actually eating our words. And the truth of the matter is, you're commenting on a situation that happened then.
Right.
It wasn't going well then. He wasn't doing well then, and things have changed. And maybe he has stepped into more of that coaching role that everyone had wanted, but maybe it came when, Jeffrey Lurie stepped in or Howie Roseman stepped, things could have happened that we're just not aware of.
Right.
That kind of got everything back on track. Do you guys follow Pat Gallen on anything?
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he put on Instagram, I think right after this past game on Sunday, and I thought it was funny. And he said, I figured out who the Eagles are. They're me. We start slow. I'm not a morning person. By 11 a.m., I'm feeling great. That's the Eagles. Don't talk to them until they've had their coffee. And I just thought that was funny because that seems to be every game. And John, you just said how they're not, they play like two and a half quarters basically because it takes them a while to get going. And I just thought that was funny. And obviously he's just playing on, not being a morning person and waiting for the coffee to kick in. But they still do seem to have that issue. And without getting that under control, a really, really good team could take advantage of that pretty quickly. And you might not be able to rebound the way they do.
Yeah, true. That's the only fear that you hope that doesn't happen when it comes to the playoffs. Because during the regular season you can get away with it, playing some of the bad teams, but it was a good test this week with Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore went up 9-0.
Sure.
Fortunately, Justin Tucker missed the extra point, which could have been 10. Missed, and then in the third quarter missed a couple field goals himself. So he left 7 points there on the game, and you look at the final score, and those 7 points makes it a loss. If that was the case, but that last drive they may not score that touchdown too. I get that as well because the game's a different situation versus being up 2 scores.
I saw a poll on Twitter, X, whatever it's called, asking what type of year Eagles fans thought Jalen Hurts was having, and overwhelmingly 70% of people said good. Great was an option, average was an option, and bad was an option. But he only got 19% for great, but 70% for good, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if you guys had any opinions on that, but I did think that's a large amount of people who all sort of feel the same way.
Yeah, especially here in Philadelphia. I mean, I would agree with the good, because it's not great, and I think it's hard a little bit to have a great season, because with all the offensive talent that they got,
well, he's being overshadowed by Barkley right now.
Exactly.
I mean, let's face it. Let's be honest here. You know what I mean? I mean, again, you and I could hand that ball off to Barkley.
Oh yeah, right. Exactly.
AJ Brown can't like that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. Winning keeps all that in check, right? But if you start losing, yeah, I agree. It's going to be a difference.
AJ had a hot start early in the game, right?
Right.
He was making plays. Ertz was making plays, and then Barkley came alive in the second half, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. It's again, this week too, coming up with Carolina. Carolina is a team that has a bad running defense. So I mean, it could be a lot more running again. For Saquon Barkley, they're averaging giving up 160 yards rushing, type of thing. So, that's just anybody. You put Barkley back there, it could be a 250 yard game, this week with him again, and. Which then obviously takes the ball out of Hurts's hand and the wide receivers not being able to go there. And again, it might be something good to do because let's face it, a lot of teams that play Baltimore the following week struggle a little bit. Just because of the physicality of that game with Baltimore. And, so yeah, you're able to be able to put the beating on them by leaning on the run game and having an offensive line, taking the blows instead of, getting them to them.
I think Tom Kineen says it best. I'll take a good quarterback if they win a championship with all that talent.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and that's, that's the whole way to, he's playing better now. He's not turning the ball over like he did earlier in the year. Which again, it was, guys were not on the field. AJ Brown was hurt. Devontae Smith was hurt. Goddard and so and so. So, Jalen was maybe trying to do a little bit too much earlier in the year, and then the team realized, hey, Saquon Barkley, yeah, we knew he was a good player, but he's better than what we thought he was. Right. And with our offensive line, the way we can dominate the game. Let's go there. I mean, Jalen Hurts only threw the ball 5 times in the second half, against Baltimore. So I mean and they took the game over in the second half with the running game, because the running game also does a whole lot because it saves the defense. It makes the defense that much better. Which I mean they're playing good on their own, but you're giving them the clock running down. It makes things a whole lot different. And it's a good.
And you're doing all this too without a couple of big leaders from previous years, right? So
yeah, no Cox and Jason Kelsey. I mean, and the past couple of weeks you've done it without Devontae Smith being on the field as well. So it's just things open up so much more when you have everybody there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go when it comes to the playoffs.
No Brandon Graham last week against a very physical Ravens team.
And Jalen Hurts, played a great game, for his first, real game of getting meaningful time playing.
Yep.
He held his own, covering up for Brandon Graham. So that was nice to see.
Yep. Well, I think after he had that horrific game where he wanted to go for it, 4th down, go for 2. I think that was the end all, for him.
Yeah. No, true. It was.
Yep. So, moving forward with the Eagles, they got their next 5 games, 4 of which are at home. Gives you the opportunity to really run the table. I hate to get, too crazy, but, why not? Let's get crazy. It's the holidays. You
exactly.
know, what are your thoughts on? I mean, I have a tough time saying this, but can they win out? And do we want them to win out? John, you and I have talked about this, I think, for the better part of the last 3 days.
Right.
I have the Pittsburgh game at home being a difficult game. I might be a little crazy, but I just think that's a game that could be interesting.
Yeah, they're the next toughest game on the schedule, or the next, the only one on the schedule really, probably is a tough game because they have that defense too that can they shut down Baltimore as well.
Yep.
And but their offense is weird because up until this week, they put up 44. What was it, 44 points? I think it was they put up this week. So up until then they were kicking field goals all the time. So if that was the case, the Eagles, you would think would have an easier task at it. But putting up the 44 points that gives you a little bit of pause there.
What's everybody thinking? That's on the board tonight. For the next 5 games. I mean, can we go 5-0, 4-1? Lauren? What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, and I feel like I say this every time. I just want to fly under the radar. Anytime people start talking about, they're going to win the Super Bowl, they're going to go all the way, this is the year, we never seem to be able to achieve that.
Right.
So let's just coast through these next 5 games. Whatever it shakes out to be is fine. I mean, obviously, if they can win them all, great. But I sort of like where we're still in that everyone is continuing to doubt us because we haven't really done well the last 2 seasons. And that's the space that we seem to do really well in. So I also would say don't underestimate some of those other opponents that you have coming up because we sometimes tend to do that too. We saw a couple games this year where they took their foot off the gas and then almost lost. But I just want to coast. I just want to coast to the end of the season, just get into the playoffs, and I don't want anyone to say anything about the Super Bowl. Just wait and see what happens.
All right, so a little melancholy out of Lauren. So
she's a rope-a-doping it.
See, Sean's talking about how many wins to the Super.
17 straight. The Dolphins would be very upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Finns of 72 wouldn't be happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's the tough part, But the whole thing too is, not so much even for talking Super Bowl or whatever, but you still want to get that number 1 seed, because getting Detroit out of the dome and bringing them here to play the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, but we seem to do really well with our backs against the wall.
Oh no, we do. It's just
we don't like to be the top dog. We don't do well there.
It's underdog time,
right?
Yeah, I mean the difference is there. I mean they got a top 5 rushing team and a top 5 passing, in Detroit. So, you want to get them into bad weather. So that that you can at least get one of those 2 elements out of the way,
sure.
And be able to do things. I mean, they're also struggling a little bit too because they got a lot of injuries, piling up on them right now. So, as you speak today, the Eagles are playing much better. They're a much better team, I think, right now than Detroit. So yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean it happens. So yeah, I mean with the Red October, you were excited.
Yeah.
And, anything can come up and bite you, and that's why we talked about it too earlier this week, Carl. I mean you got to watch out for like the Green Bay Packers or even Tampa Bay for the Eagles anyway. That that they can come up and bite us, in the earlier rounds before we even get to the NFC Championship game. Just because of circumstances, and I think more so Green Bay probably because of them. They're used to playing in the cold. If you bring Tampa up here, I don't know. It'll be the same as like in the past, but Tampa's had our number the past couple of years, so hopefully we can figure a way to get around that.
I just figured out on the table, you got Barkley, you got Hurts. Is that your pick for co-MVPs?
Yeah, that's your MVP right there. I mean, it's one of those two. I mean, everybody wants to keep talking about Josh Allen, but Hurts has got just as good numbers, basically right there, comparable to Josh Allen right now, and and everybody's overshadowing Jalen Hurts, towards Barkley. So, it's I still can't see how anybody could not pick Barkley personally, but
right.
we all know that it's a quarterback, award, but
well, yeah, I mean, traditionally,
right, exactly.
All right, well, let's give is Tony awake over there? Can we get him in the conversation? Let's talk some baseball, because there's a lot of good and bad things going on.
A lot of bad.
I knew that would wake them up. But let me get your thoughts right off the bat about your commissioner. What do you think about that new? John called it rope-a-dope earlier. I mean, that's kind of crazy trying to change things up to that drastic.
I didn't read it in depth. I'm confused. So let's say your best hitter on the team already hit. Is he allowed to come up again and hit, or is this got to be a guy off the bench?
Nope, anybody.
And it's for one time only.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, that's like a video game,
right?
That doesn't seem right. Also, if the guy's been hitting, I don't know. That doesn't seem right.
Doesn't this seem like a marketing tactic?
Well, they want more people to watch. They want to score more runs.
No, I'm thinking, isn't it just to get people talking about baseball?
Well, yes, but they want more runs, and they want you to.
I don't see that ever getting approved. I don't see that ever getting through. I think it's to talk about the baseball in the wintertime.
Well, between that and all the deferred money that you see that the Dodgers have, it's out of control. It's like over $1 billion for guys that are going to be paid to the future. And I mean, that's pretty much setting up. Obviously, a lot has to happen in baseball, but that's setting up teams like the Dodgers to win year after year after year after year. And it sounds funny right now, but if that happens 3 or 4 years in a row, which I know is difficult, why would anyone ever want to play on any team other than the Los Angeles Dodgers? So they have a real problem. I don't think that they are addressing it. I think they are, living in New York and LA, and New York and LA seems fine, but they're not spending much time in Kansas City or Pittsburgh or Milwaukee or any of those other places. And I think long term, I don't think that's good for the game. And but they're making a lot of money right at this minute, and he'll be gone by the time any of that other stuff happens. So yeah, it's.
I mean, you got to give Lawrence some credit for I mean, it is the winter, and things have been very, very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear much. LA's 6 hours away. You don't hear much, from the Dodgers in the way of anything. You got to stay up till the middle of the night to watch any games. So, if you're not a true baseball fan, you don't even know that they won the World Series. So,
true. And like I said, there's nothing going on. There's not even much, moves, going on with players and stuff like that as well.
Quiet.
So.
It's been quiet. So the commissioner's pulling one out of his back pocket. Hey, what do you think about this?
Right.
I don't even know that it is the commissioner. I don't, you know what I mean? I think part of it was, let's dangle something out there and see what the crowd says. It's kind of like getting the pulse of something without actually releasing something. But then it also just gets you talking about baseball in the dead cold of December, when we wouldn't really be talking about baseball otherwise. So maybe that gets people to watch it when it comes back around in April. I don't know, but I just can't see something like that actually getting approved.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's just
pretty wild.
But I guess baseball's been known to do some crazier things.
I don't know what they're up to anymore. It's changing very quickly over a very short period of time. So hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a good.
It's not like it's been, progressives, small at a time, small. It's been like in the last 4 or 5 years, it's really dramatically changed. And I think that unless there's a players union that stops any of it, it's going to keep changing. And they can only stop so much. At some point, there's both sides that agree and but I don't know. It just seems like it's getting a little crazy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, our Phillies make a move or two. I didn't realize that the winter meetings were still going on. I mean,
yeah, I think these are the true winter meetings. Right now.
What are the other ones? The not true winter meetings?
Let's go hang out in a warm spot.
That's more of I think those are more promotional marketing. They have an MILB seminar, those types of things. They have where you go see vendors if you're a store person. This is the actual Major League Baseball meetings, which I think they've kind of not shooed sort of the minor league guys out, but we have way less people that could potentially go. And this is more about moves. So it used to be one big thing where everyone would go together. Minor league, major league, everyone would go. Kids looking for jobs would go. You'd pass the hallways of, George Steinbrenner types as you're like an intern. Like it was a cool atmosphere. Now it's really different where it's guys that are pretty much from the major league clubs trying to make moves with other guys from major league clubs. So I guess that's this weekend or later this week.
Yeah,
this week they're doing it. So
Joe wants to know if where did that will he get big money? What do you guys anybody know anything?
He's going to get a lot of money.
Juan Soto, absolutely.
He's going to get money from the Dodgers, or he's going to get money from the Yankees or the Mets, or maybe the Red Sox, or the 5 teams that will spend that much money. Maybe the Phillies you can add in there, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. I mean, that's it. Those are the teams. He could say he's looking at every team, but unless the Pirates are deferring money for the next 5 billion years, I don't know that he's going there, to be honest with you. So he says everything he's got to say, but that's going to be a lot of money. And, again, a team like the Dodgers, where it seems like if you can defer something, there is no salary cap. What until someone stops that, which they're not going to.
Right.
He's on the Dodgers, and they have $2 billion or $3 billion deferred, but no one's stopping it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
I like Joe's question. What sport has not changed much? So, I mean, you pretty much take the top 4 sports out of it.
Well, hockey is still kind of,
Hockey might be ranked 4th.
Right.
I would say basketball is first.
Right.
Then I'd go football, baseball, hockey.
Well, I don't know, man. Baseball has changed a lot in the last couple of years. Hockey, I mean, yeah, the old school people get upset, about the
overtime,
shootout, overtime, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And
you don't fight anymore. There's not enough hits, stuff like that. But
you gotta.
I mean, basketball, you've got that play-in tournament now. You've got those crazy courts and uniforms, and I mean,
load management.
I think basketball's probably changed the most. I mean, I can't really answer that. Golf is what came to my first thought, to be honest, Joe, like you said, but I don't know enough about golf. I don't know what golf looked like 50 years ago compared to what it looks like now. It seems hard to change that because the golf course is the golf course and the guys are the guys, but I don't know enough about it. Also, I don't know enough about soccer. I thought about that one too. Has that gone through some pretty radical changes? I don't know.
That probably is the one sport because golf's changed a lot because of the equipment more so than like the rules and that kind of stuff because the equipment's so much better now that the players are playing with versus
got it
back in
Well,
the day.
I mean, that's the evolution of the game, right? I mean,
well, right.
Well,
Yeah.
we're also talking about two different things. I mean, there are changes that are good. Like at first, people were very worried about this pitch clock, and it actually made the games a little bit speedier and a little bit more exciting. And the game, you're not sitting there for hours and hours and hours. So one thing that people really got nervous about, and that and some purists probably still don't like it, but it did a good job for the most part.
sure.
But then when you get into these, other things and robot umpire, it gets people a little bit worried because it seems like a lot is happening at once. It's not gradual. It's a lot of changes in the last couple of years, and I think that's what people.
We also live in a world now where news and updates are immediate. I mean, there's no, you can know what happened in the winter meetings like tonight. You could read a little blurb about it somewhere. So we live in a world now where we are absorbing news constantly. And that wasn't the case, even 10 years ago compared to what we do now. So it kind of gives an outlet to change that's not even really happening yet. Like the robot umpires, that's not even happening yet. But we're already talking about it, and we've already decided that we don't like it. So by the time it gets here, we really don't like it.
Yeah. True.
I think the one thing that they all have in common is money. I mean, the money aspect of all of these sports with the advertising. You talk about golf and all these, golfers have all these individual, companies supporting them and, backing them. You go to hockey, they now have advertising on the helmets. Same thing with baseball. You now have advertising on the helmets. You got more advertising on the field. So, to pay these guys, you've got a lot of money coming in, but you also have a lot of money going out. So,
yeah, I mean, you gotta, because if they don't supplement that with ads, they're going to pass it along to us, the consumers, and ticket prices.
Yep.
So some of that money's got to get absorbed somewhere else, and they got to be able to, make these deals happen with advertisers so that it softens the blow when, ticket prices go up or beer prices go up or food, parking, all that stuff. So as much as people don't like the Chevy logo on the Flyers helmets, it's going to eventually catch up to catching, to paying Mitchkoff, the big contract he's going to want.
Yeah.
I like that segue, but I have one other thing. We'll go back to the money aspect of the thing. Tonight, Sixers Magic, there were $2 tickets available. $2 tickets.
You had said that. You said that earlier today.
$2 tickets if you wanted to go down. So
well,
you had to pay $75 to park though. But
Embiid and George, playing.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, our boy Mitchkoff. I mean, I'm pretty excited. There's a lot of media outside Philadelphia that's trying to downplay the kid, that he's too one-dimensional. And maybe I don't know.
How many other superstars? Mario Lemieux, was he considered a lockdown defensive player as well? Was Wayne Gretzky a defensive guy?
No.
I mean, how many?
I had to read the articles a couple of times because I just, I don't know if it was just a little bit of, sarcasm that, they were a little jealous because, Philadelphia took the challenge to draft him where they drafted him, and they were willing to wait for him, and it paid off for them because he came over early.
Yeah.
The kid can play. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. The things that he does on the ice and his stick ability and he's just everything that Philadelphia Flyers needed right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully with the additional advertising and everything that's going on. And you know what? I want to throw a shout out to our guy, Lappy up in the Lehigh Valley, because I don't think he gets the credit, just like a lot of the minor league coaches don't get the credit developing these players and getting them ready.
Right.
The Flyers have brought up a couple of young players, and I'll be honest with you, I thought I knew them all. I mean, there's a kid up right now, that's just playing out of his mind. He looks like he's a professional hockey player, and the lights are not too big at the Wells Fargo Center. So,
you talking about Andre?
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. You knew I was struggling.
Yep. No, I mean he's playing really well. You're right.
He's playing extremely well, and to have a coach, the former NHL player who didn't take crap from anybody. Right. You know what I mean? He put his face out there to stop pucks, and he's got these kids prepared to go play, in South Philly.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think he gets enough credit. And I think it's a strong. It's a strong situation to have. Hopefully these couple of young goaltenders they're learning on the job, right? They're getting a chance to play, and they're producing. I forget what their record in November was. I want to say like 8-2-2 or 9-2-2.
I think it was 8-4-1.
Is that what it was?
8-4-2, I think it was, or 8-4.
Yeah, you're the numbers guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a phenomenal month in November.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And like you said, that just having the three of them, competing. I mean, Erson's hurt right at the moment, but having the three of them competing against each other.
He's back on the ice. He's practicing. Right. So
yeah, hopefully he'll be back there, tomorrow night when they play. But you got the three of them battling against each other, pushing each other. Is only going to help. Either now or in the future. So. Yeah, no, it's a good thing, and you could just start seeing everything with Danny Briere and Keith Jones has been doing.
It was meet the team night Monday night, and season ticket holders got to go down and meet the team, and they said it was packed.
Yeah,
it was packed. So
Flyers hockey's back.
It's good to see in such a short time that Danny Briere and Keith Jones have been able to. Put this team back, in a nice little spot. And I know I'm pushing the envelope, but hey, playoffs aren't too far behind.
No, I mean, they were right up until the end of last year as well.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
It'll be a good thing. Just get a little bit get that experience, if nothing else.
Nice, what is it? 3-game winning streak. So. They play tomorrow night. They got a tough matchup against Bobrovsky and the Panthers. So it'll be another nice test. But let's talk. I'm going to throw it over to Lauren because I know she can't wait to talk about the 76ers.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, it's they won the last 2 games though. Come on.
Okay. That's
we
great.
Can build off of that.
Okay, sure. I guess
the last 2 games. They've looked a lot better, a lot more fun. Moving the ball around, and it seems like they got the Embiid stink off of them right at the moment that they're able to work around. And
this kid that they drafted last year is a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, McCain's playing really well.
Pleasant surprise.
He seems to really get along with Maxey, which is nice. They kind of feed off each other, and you can kind of see that in the post game interviews. So I mean, it's good to have bright spots in some not so great games. So that's helpful, but I don't know. I don't really have much to say. It's disappointing the amount of times that I get a notification that Embiid's out. Paul George is out. This one's not playing. That kind of stuff. They're
down 5 guys tonight, I think.
Well, and that's kind of why I said tickets are $2 because you knew this morning that Joel Embiid and Paul George weren't playing.
Right.
It's a Wednesday night. It's freezing outside. I mean, what is the draw to go? If you know both of those guys aren't playing, and the team isn't really doing that well.
Right.
You're going to spend more to park than you are to get in the door.
Right.
You're going to spend more on fees.
Why go? You know what I mean? Why? It's.
I feel like I know it's early, but they got to figure out a plan going forward because
I don't think they have a
they
plan.
have to
I think they're just riding it out.
They have to figure out a plan because this is not. It's unwatchable. It's if you got run your kids around this place, that place, you got to make dinner. The last thing you want to do is turn on that Sixers game for a disappointment. I mean, it's just not.
I haven't watched one game from start to finish this whole season.
And that was never the case. That would be on in the background the entire night.
Most of the time, I don't know that they're playing until that I see your post in the morning.
Hey, how about this, Anthony? They signed Larry Nance's kid.
Larry Nance.
You remember Larry Nance, right?
Well, what is the kid? 75? I don't understand.
He just came out of Cleveland, the G League from Cleveland.
How old do you think Larry Nance is?
108. I don't know.
He's not that old. Come on.
The kid's about 20 years old, 25 years old.
31.
He's 31. Okay.
Yeah, that's bad. That's they're just they don't.
But let me see how old Larry Nance is. He's 65.
They don't have a
108.
They don't have a plan, and I don't think they can have a plan because no one would take Joel Embiid. So for however long that contract is, the team's going to be bad.
Well, it's funny because we talked about this last year. What could they trade him for? What could they get? John and I, we all kicked it around.
Well, the problem is they didn't want to do that, and they should have done it right after he won the MVP. But they wouldn't do that because it sold a lot of tickets, and people would be up in arms. How can you trade the MVP? Well, that was his brightest thing he's accomplished, and unfortunately, I don't think he's ever going to accomplish anything else. Even if he runs out this contract with the Sixers and he gets on a Lakers or one of those teams, he's going to be not himself. He's going to be banged up. He's going to be hurt.
I don't even think he would survive in another big market because they will eat him alive.
But if he's playing with other big players, he doesn't have to be the main guy. I don't think long term he's a solution for any team, and it's just really sad because he had a lot of potential.
Well, what do you two think about the whole thing that they keep putting on there? It's like his knee physical things for his knees, but then they also put in there for personal reasons as well. That's been the latest thing on there as well. So it's like, is there more going on as well mentally with them or
well, I bet you his leg or knee does hurt.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
I bet you it hurts, but some guys would say my leg hurts enough where I'm going to start playing because I need to play. And other guys use it as an excuse to sit home on your butt. And even if he's in there training, whatever, I mean, the fans are basically just tired of hearing of it. I don't think they're selling any Joel Embiid jerseys. I don't think anyone's excited about it. I think the fans have had enough. And you still got time with them because they just signed him to a stupid contract. So they're going to, you're going to be at the point where Maxey is going to not want to play or play somewhere else. Or, I mean, he's going to play hard every day, but it's not fun when you lose all the time. Right. So unless they get him someone to help him, because he is not a guy that can carry a whole team. I mean, let's be honest. No. He's a good guard type guy or a 6-man off the bench for a really, really good team. He's a good player, but you need people around him. He's too little to be doing all that stuff. And
he sure does try, though, doesn't he?
He tries better than anyone else, and you can't blame him for that. And he deserves to be the face of the team right now. But when he is your face of the team is never really a good thing because he should be surrounded by other characters, and he's not.
Yep. All right. Hey, Johnny, I didn't check with you before, so I guess I'm not putting you on the spot. But do we have a John's Rants tonight?
Well, I had a couple of plans, and we kind of already kicked them around a little bit with the.
And we got to get to John's Rants in the beginning. It sounds like from now.
Okay, well, I'm going to note that, and we may open with the show with that then.
Yeah, right. Because it was Manfred with the rule changes going on there, especially this golden at bat rule. I mean, that's the most asinine thing you can even think about, even throwing out there. I can't even believe that was even suggested. I mean, because all you're doing is making the sport look stupid. You might be getting some people talking about it, like Lauren said, but it's being talked about, as a laughing stock, more so than a positive, thinking about it. So yeah, it was that was it's just not a good thing. It's just not a good look. Like Anthony said, it's a video game thing. Oh yeah, Harper just hit a home run, so let's put him back out there, to go again because we're down. He can only hit a 3-run homer instead of the grand slam, to tie the game up. And let's get one more guy on base, and then we'll throw Harper back out there. Like,
so I have a question, and I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to interrupt, but let's say they do it. Let's say that this golden at bat thing or whatever it's going to be called happens. Yeah. Are you going to stop watching?
Well, I'll stop. I'll watch less probably. Sure.
Okay. Because I mean, nothing that they've done so far. Joe Stinger mentioned that he doesn't like the 10th inning. I don't think any of us did, but we still watch. Nobody liked the pitch clock thing, but we still watched.
Yeah, I mean,
so
we're always going to watch. Yeah, I mean,
pushing the boundaries a little bit, but until 50% of people stop watching, and the same thing happens with Anthony. I see him watch these Pirates podcasts and stuff like that, and they talk about, the season ticket holders have to stop buying season tickets to really make a case.
Right.
Well, that doesn't happen. They get 30 people for a protest. That doesn't do anything.
No, true.
Unless people actually start putting their own money where their mouth is, nothing changes. Right. So even if they do put this in effect, we're still going to watch. I know that. We're still going to go to the Pirates games. Yeah, we're still going to go to the Phillies games.
The first time that there's a close game, the first
I
time there's a
ya.
close game, Pirates and Phillies, and the score's similar, and they bring up Bryce Harper for the second time, whatever, right after he hit, and he hits a grand slam, I'm going to throw something through the roof because that's not fair. Like, that's a video game. That's not fair.
I hear you.
That's not fair. He had his time. He struck out. He got on base, whatever. He can't come up again.
But does that madness that you have, does that make enough for you to not watch?
That's where they got you.
Right.
Because you like it enough.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like you said, you're gonna watch, but it's
you're gonna be mad, but you're gonna watch.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I hope a lot of times it doesn't work. It's 80% of the time it probably won't work because the guy's gonna be tired from just hitting earlier or whatever.
Well, that too, and but even still, like just like you said with the pitch clock thing. I mean, what did it do? Save 9 minutes? Time wise. I mean, like what's 9 minutes?
It's no different with the bigger bases. I mean, everybody complained about that, and when has that actually even been a factor?
Yeah, I mean, it's in stolen bases, and it led to people stealing bases more because they're able to get there a little bit faster. But yeah, I mean, it's a game that's built around numbers, and you keep changing everything. It just makes things, not historically, good.
I hear you. I just, unless the masses start to do something about it,
and they're not going to.
Nothing, you know what I mean? They're going to keep pushing the boundaries as much as they can until they see it actually hit their pocketbook.
True. No, it's true.
I like that word.
All right, since we blew John's rant, and does Lauren have a layup for us tonight?
So I do have a layup, but it's not. It's more so seasonal related, more so an opinion-based layup. But there is so much talk around when you can start playing Christmas music, when you put up your tree, all that kind of stuff. So what do you guys do? When does your tree go up? When do you start listening to Christmas music? What is considered politically correct in your homes?
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Dad, I think your tree's been up since Halloween.
I love Christmas. I just love everything about it.
Okay.
I just love, it's nostalgic, it's been around forever. just love everything about it. I love the music. I love the shows. I love everything that you can, the eating of cookies, the drinking of eggnog, just every aspect. I love getting presents. I love giving presents. I just love the holidays.
Okay.
So, and then, I mean, technically, from a business standpoint, I guess, the big box stores, they love them too, because, they start pushing that stuff out the door pretty darn quick.
Sure.
You will get through Christmas. You won't even see the new year, and they'll already have Valentine's Day stuff out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
no,
I'm a big tree guy. Love it all. When we had the house on the corner, I used to pepper it along with blow ups.
Mm-hmm.
I just love everything about it. John don't let me play Christmas music in the store anymore.
Why?
I don't know. He says it bothers his ears.
It does.
No. The Christmas music bothers your ears, Johnny?
No.
Okay.
He stands right in front of the speaker, and he goes,
I mean, it's blaring.
Blaring.
Okay.
And then I can't hear the people when I'm asking them if they need a bag or not. So, we do it at our house. Jen does the decorations the day after Thanksgiving, because she's off. So she gets that going. We put the tree up pretty quickly after that as well. The tree's up. We got it Sunday before the boys went back to school, because when they by the time they get back from college, it's a little bit too late at that point,
right?
To get it out. So it's I think you always got to at least wait for the previous holiday to start or to finish before you started. I mean, like you said, going to the box stores and early November, you're putting out Christmas stuff, and Thanksgiving hasn't even happened yet.
Right.
I think it's a little bit much, but the music. As soon as Thanksgiving's over, get it going, and you got a whole month to go. Right there.
I love that new commercial. With the family in the car, and they're driving through town. And the little girl wants, the Christmas music, and, Halloween hasn't even come yet.
Right.
And I think it's a BMW commercial, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just a great, and then as soon as, I guess B101 makes it official, when they start playing Christmas music on December 1st?
No, I think it was before Thanksgiving this year. I think it was like the week before Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow. Yeah. They bumped it up, huh?
Yeah. Well, Thanksgiving is also relatively late this year.
That's true, too.
Yeah. I like to sort of usher in Christmas the week of Thanksgiving. So I normally will try to put up the tree that Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday leading up to Thanksgiving that Thursday. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but that's kind of what I do. Right, Tony?
Sure do.
Yep. Tony doesn't care when anything goes up. Nope, sure doesn't. How about you? Do you listen to any Christmas music?
I do not.
Only when forced?
Yeah.
By me in the car?
Yeah, I'm not a...
Yeah.
It's fine when it's here, but I
not a Christmas guy.
No, I'm good.
Not a Christmas guy.
It's fine, but
it's fine.
How's the tree coming?
Looks good.
The tree's good. The tree doesn't have a topper. I've never found a good topper. You don't like tree toppers?
No.
That's an odd position to take.
There's a light up there. It looks good.
There's a light? Well, that's just where they put it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have a tree. We don't have a tree topper.
Put a hat
on. Work on that.
Yeah, I haven't found anything that really. So we only have ornaments on our tree that like mean something to us. A trip we went on, things like that. We're not really like those big sort of glass ball and ribbon type people. So we have a much larger tree this year than we've had in the past. So we don't have as many ornaments to fill this new tree. So we'll get to work on that over the next couple of years. But The tree's good. The tree's good. So
Good to hear.
oh, yeah.
You got to get some. You got to get some kind of like pig with the Santa hat on as your top.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not, as you know, I'm not just a buyer to buy it type of person. I gotta really like be into it and like it. And I just haven't really found anything. I think I've just done a Fightin's Christmas hat up there.
Yeah, that's good enough.
That's good enough. Okay.
Yep.
Bah humbug. That's his motto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's more along the lines of when does this stuff come down? So
Gotcha.
that's okay. Everyone's got their thing.
everyone's got their things. Don't shame me.
There's no,
No
there's
shame.
no shame here. There's
No
no
shame in
shame.
your game. I'm thinking about. I talk about it every year, but I'm thinking about leaving it up all year and doing a holiday tree every holiday. So
Well, you don't have ornaments for all those holidays.
I know. I'll just have to go buy them.
Okay.
Just have to go buy them and switch out the for each holiday.
You got the blinking tree going on. I mean, you got a lot going on there.
Yeah. Just give me something to do, keep me out of trouble. Especially when the Philly sports teams are letting me down and I get down and depressed.
Okay.
All
right.
But
John,
no.
will you do a tree for every holiday?
I would not know.
Okay. Yeah. Anthony would veto that pretty quick.
I forced them to put the lights on the tree at the store. I said, "Come on, you got to be part of this."
Oh, that's nice. Did you guys have some like hot cocoa and gingerbread cookies?
No,
too?
John's not a hot cocoa, but he did roll in a 55-gallon drum of Reese cups the other day,
Wow, that's a lot of Reese cups.
and he forced me to eat one. I don't like Reese cups, and
I held them down. Yeah,
he held me down and made me eat one.
And force fed it to him.
I had to pry his jaws open and everything.
Well, you're not a chocolate and peanut butter guy, right?
I am not.
Well, you're not a peanut butter guy in general, right?
Peanut butter and jelly, it stops there.
Okay. Is that the same for you?
Peanut butter? I'm trying to think of there might be some.
Because you don't like peanut butter and chocolate either.
Usually not.
A good pack of peanut butter crackers is okay. When you're hungry and it's in a pinch. But yeah, no.
I'm trying to think.
No Stinger. He puts lights up every holiday. See, I'm with you, Joe. I'm with you.
So Joe, I have further questions. Are these lights that just change color? Like you can pick what color you want, or you're physically removing the lights and putting new colored lights up? I have some follow-up questions there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you're going to get an answer.
Yeah, the icicle lights at the shop, even though I asked for them to be taken down in February, never were removed. So now
they did not get taken down, and now they don't work.
That makes sense.
You weren't supposed to say that.
Oh, Lord.
John and I we've debated that conversation as well.
And where have we landed on it?
No, they're still up.
Yeah, I see that.
But you know what? We've been busy, so we got the perfect excuse.
Wow, he puts new lights up every time.
Well, of course, there's
Nice.
what?
Like the LED strip, like the stripping of lights at the store. You can change the color.
No one's doing all that.
We are going to get those hopefully next week. We might have.
Then you just change the remote, like the color. You pick it on the remote, what color you want.
Yep.
No, you should look into these LED lights. Then you just have to press a button.
Yeah.
And you won't have to put new ones up every time.
Yep.
Okay. So that was my question. Not any sports hitting or really thought provoking question.
It was a good one. It was a good one. Nothing wrong with talking about Christmas and the holidays and what you guys have anything planned as far as I know you always find these cool little spots to go and visit and drink your little festive drinks and that sort of thing. Have you found any new places?
Well, we tried to go to a place on Black Friday. It was like a German Christmas market up here. And it was really lame.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really lame. They charged us $5 each to get in. and it just wasn't very festive. I mean, it was cold, yes, but you kind of go into that knowing. It just wasn't as festive as I would have liked it to be, and it was just kind of like these little vendor tables, and that was pretty much it. So,
Gotcha.
No festive drinks. But I mean, once again, you only get 3 Saturdays between now and Christmas, so there's not a ton of time to do a whole lot there. So,
True.
Okay, sure you'll find. Or you're off in between Christmas and New Year's, though, right?
Yeah, but the way the holidays fall this year, it's like a Wednesday to Wednesday, so it's kind of a weird time off. So I'm not really sure how that's going to shake out, but yeah, we try to take some extra time.
All right, very good. All right, good show, good conversation. Thanks for everybody who joined in with us tonight. Hopefully, the Sixers can steal another win, make it 3 in a row. Same with the Flyers tomorrow night versus the Panthers. And, their Birds are 13-point favorites over the Carolina Panthers. So I hope there's no letdown there, but I'll bite my tongue.
Okay.
Feed Barkley all day long.
There you go.
Just keep feeding them.
All right, guys. Well, again, no, I haven't done Longwood Gardens. I couldn't tell you. Been a long time.
It's been a long time, yeah.
Been
Actually, I can tell you when I went. We went when the Eagles beat Detroit Lions in the playoffs. When they scored like 57 points or whatever it was.
So for the rest of us, what year was that?
Like that was probably like it was Rodney Pete time. So what was that? The 90s?
Wow. You got drug out for that one, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How did I know that?
Oh yeah. That one. Yeah. At least we were able to listen to the game on the way down there, and they blew them out, so it wasn't really much of a game. But
all right.
But yeah, that's the last time we were there. Peddler's Village is nice though. If anybody gets up that way.
We've done that a couple of times in the fall. I've never been for Christmas, but we've done that a few times in the fall.
Yeah, if you go up there for Christmas, it's nice. They got the gingerbread houses that they have like a competition and everybody's.
Okay. In the fall they have, what is it? Scarecrows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the fall they have a scarecrow competition.
Right.
Cool.
So yeah,
nice.
it's nice up there as well.
Thanks.
They get their
All
little
right.
festive things with their shops and then they got their cider and hot chocolate and stuff. So yeah, that's a nice little adventure.
Oh, wait a second.
I see Christmas starting to come out in Anthony, so I think he wants to do a little Christmas shopping.
Definitely. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, if you need some holiday things, you can come out Saturday here at Carl's Cards and meet Brian Dawkins and Brian Prop.
Wow, I think I might be there.
There you go.
Yeah, you get tickets still available, and they're going fast for both of them. But you can come out and meet Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins and Flyers Hall of Famer Brian Prop. So
nice.
And then you got two more.
Make a day of it. Come to Havertown. You can have breakfast at many spots. There's shopping to be done throughout.
Oh yeah,
the town.
Well, the Discover Haverford is having their Christmas event as well down there. Is it on Brookline Boulevard?
Brookline Boulevard, yep, which is only a stone's throw from Eagle Road.
Oh, Havertown's gonna be shut down then for sure.
Free parking.
Oh yeah,
parking throughout the township. And we've got our new canine Dawkins coming to the store on Saturday. So
yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to a really good day at the store on Saturday. So
Dawkins meeting Dawkins.
Yep, Dawkins versus Dawkins.
Do we have a picture of Dawkins the dog?
No, I have not seen one. No.
Okay.
No, but it's still in the puppy stage.
Got it.
It's a young dog.
So he's in training.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
And then you got 2 more not far after that, right? It's only like a week away between one or the other.
Yeah. The following week, we got Medusa, the WWE Hall of Fame wrestler.
We just watched her the other night. What wrestler was she on talking about?
They had the show on the Vice channel called Dark Side of the Ring. And episodes never usually end well because it's called Dark Side of the Ring. But
also, like 90% of the people have died.
Yeah, everyone's dead. But they were doing a story on Sensational Sherry, who was a wrestler back in the day. And so they interviewed her about, her helping her get her start and all that stuff. And it just, you get really excited to watch all these because it's guys that you grew up watching. And then the stories, obviously, because it's called Dark Side of the Ring, always end in some horrible way. So, it's crazy. But she spoke very well of her, and it was good. And she's been doing it for 30 plus years at this point, almost 40, I would imagine.
Wow. Yeah. And then we have the barefoot kicker, Tony Franklin, coming in on Saturday.
That's the NFC champ.
Yep. So we're looking forward to it. Of course, we've got another live show coming up at Buffalo Wild Wings with announcer Ben Davis, Phillies announcer.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Then we got our Santa Claus guy coming in to see the kids at Christmas Eve at the store. So we're busy. We got a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to try to get those icicle lights fixed.
Yeah.
My money's on that doesn't happen by Christmas.
Wow.
Ooh.
Challenge accepted.
It's accepted.
Challenge accepted.
It's the only way to get anything done.
That's the only way to get things done. Reverse psychology.
Remember when they would skip people's orders all the time? When they buy online, they'd lose like 5 or 6 orders. We must have forgot to print that one. So then I challenged them. Now they're perfect at it.
Why would they skip them?
Because they must have forgot to print it. John must have been off that day.
So what'd you do to make them do it?
I told them over under on how many you could get right. And John really likes a challenge. So now they're perfect every time.
We don't miss
It's all
any.
about competition, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Yep.
It's all about competition.
Yeah, it's all the competition.
All right,
Yep.
guys.
Throw a challenge out there, and we're good to go.
Yep.
There you go. And there's plenty of Reese cups in the fridge if anybody wants any.
There you go.
I'm glad to hear they're in the fridge. I hear that's safekeeping.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Well, that's the only way your dad will eat them, he said.
Yeah, I love chocolate cold.
Okay. Whatever you say.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you again next week.
Yes.
Have a good one.
See you later.